Hello, I wanted to show you some tips on how to use Google Drawing for your fair use project. So the first thing you need to do is you can use the link that I have in our project, or you can just go to Google and search Google Drawing. And when you do that, you're going to get this link that opens up a new drawing for you. And Google Drawing works a lot like Google Slides. I like it for doing visual things. It's really easy to add shapes and add pictures into it. So let's say I need to make something. I have my area here, and then I'm probably going to use shapes. I'm probably going to use maybe some lines. If I want to do a free draw, I can use something called Scribble, and that lets me do, create whatever I want to create into a shape. So that's a neat tool that we can use. And then I'm also going to insert pictures. So when I go to insert image, search the web, I want to use this little window here to search for images. It just makes it really easy and I can find a lot of cool things. So let's say that I first want to start with a little background, okay? And I'm thinking about the example that I made. I used like a checkered floor, and so I just looked up checkered floor tile. Sure, that's fine. And then I found one that I liked. Let's see. And then I just drag it in. And then the cool thing about Google Drawing is that you can, when you crop something, you don't have to just crop a square, you can actually crop a shape. So if you click this little arrow here, I'm able to crop to a circle, and that kind of looks a little bit, I don't know, just looks a little cleaner, and it also is going with the look that I'm looking for. I also can add a border. I can change the color of that border. I can change the thickness of the border. I can make it like a dashed line. I mean, there's just a lot of different things you can do depending on what you want to do. So let's say next I decide to add a picture of a bird, but I want it to be more like a cartoon bird. So I might type bird cartoon and see what I get. And then if I want to make sure that it doesn't have a background, I can also add the letters P and G, which means that it should have a transparent background, which means it's clear. And so I'm looking, and I don't know, these guys are kind of cute. And then I just pull those in, and sometimes there is a background and we have to pick a different picture. This one does not, and so you can see now I have my my birds on top of this. So every time you add a new layer in Google Drawing, it's going to put it on the top. But what if I said, you know what, I really wanted to put something behind the birds. I wanted them to have a nest. And so I'm going to look up a nest. And some of these look, ooh, this is good. Okay, so, and I want this nest. And when I pull in my nest, I'm going to resize, and we should always resize from the corners so that it doesn't get distorted. But when I put my nest here, it's in front of the birds, and that looks crazy. I kind of want the birds in front of the nest. And so for that, I'm going to go to Arrange, Order, and then I just basically tell Google Drawings, where do I want to move it? So I want to move it back. If I move it all the way to the back, it's going to be behind my checkerboard. So I just want to send it backward. And you can see there's also a shortcut, Control, and the down arrow will also do this. So I go to send backward, and now the nest is nested between these two layers. So that's just kind of an example of how you can use Google Drawings to make your artwork. Have fun!